Ready to turn those flat shoulders into a 3D masterpiece? If you're hitting the gym but feeling lost in the sea of shoulder exercises, you're in the right place. Today we'll break down the ultimate guide to sculpting your shoulders by ranking the best and worst exercises using this tier list. S is the gold standard, the cream of the crop. Meanwhile, D is the danger zone, the rating you definitely want to steer clear of. Okay, so our shoulders have three heads: the anterior deltoids, front delts, lateral deltoids, mid delts, and posterior deltoids. You guessed it, it's your back delts. To achieve that 3D shoulder look, you've got to hit all three heads. Lucky for you, I'm about to break it down step by step. First off, let's dive into the reverse fly. It's a staple in the shoulder workouts, aiming to hit those rear delts hard. But here's the catch. When you grab those heavier dumbbells, your range of motion takes a hit. Ever struggled to extend your arms fully? Yeah, that's the downside. Less range means less muscle activation and time under tension, which is not ideal. While it's a solid exercise, it's not exactly king of the hill, so we'll give it a respectable B on our ranking scale. Now let's tackle the dumbbell cheat lateral raise, a move that zeroes in on those middle delts. It might sound a bit unfamiliar to some of you, but here's the deal. You're grabbing slightly heavier dumbbells than usual and adding a touch of momentum to your reps. Sure, it's tempting to sneak in those extra reps with a bit of momentum, but let's be real. We're not about half-hearted efforts here. So we're sliding this one right into the C tier faster than you can say, cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Ever heard of the press out? It's like the 90s sitcom reboot of shoulder exercises. Decent, but with some limitations. We're talking range of motion so limited it makes your grandma's Sunday afternoon walk look like a marathon. It is a good entry exercise for beginners who want to target the front delt, but it is far away from the best. Stick it in the C tier and let's move on, shall we? If someone asked me to choose just one shoulder exercise for the rest of my life, it would hands down be the barbell overhead press. This compound move is a powerhouse, hitting all your shoulder heads while giving your triceps and chest a little love too. When it comes to targeting those shoulders, this exercise takes the crown. It's an absolute must, so let's give it the honor it deserves by sliding it into the S tier. Just remember, keep that form tighter than your shoelaces. Now, maybe you're asking, what about the seated dumbbell shoulder press? This exercise is a true all-rounder, targeting multiple areas of your deltoids and serving as a fantastic overall shoulder builder. What sets it apart from the barbell press is the ability to independently control each dumbbell, forcing your stabilizing muscles to kick into high gear and potentially delivering superior results. However, it's crucial to execute this move with precision to avoid injury. While you may not be able to lift extremely heavy weights, this exercise is a powerhouse until you hit that wall. Until then, it's a must-have in your routine. That's why we're placing it once again in the S tier, because let's face it, it's an absolute GOAT. Alright, next up, let's chat about the Cuban press. It's akin to the roller coaster ride of shoulder exercises. Sure, it's got its thrills, but that internal rotation on the descent? Not exactly shoulder friendly, my friends. Plus, the shoulder activation you're getting here is mainly from the pressing movement at the top. The rest is just fluff when it comes to shoulder activation. The risk to reward ratio? Let's just say it's firmly in D tier territory, where the gains are as elusive as Bigfoot sightings. Something else that earns a spot in the D section is the upright row. This exercise is quite harmful to the shoulders and can lead to injuries. While it does target your shoulders, the risk to reward ratio just doesn't stack up in my opinion. Can you sculpt 3D shoulders using just your body weight? The straightforward answer, yes. And the key? The handstand. But here's the catch. If you're merely kicking up into a banana handstand for a few seconds, you won't achieve much muscle activation. Now, if you're banging out wall handstand push-ups, well, my friends, that's a game changer. This vaults the exercise right to the top of our list, landing it squarely in the S section. Let's move to behind the neck press, the forbidden fruit of shoulder exercises. It's a classic, no doubt, but it's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Trust me, folks, it's a risk you don't want to take. C tier with a capital C because ain't nobody got time for shoulder shenanigans. Next up, we have leaning cable lateral raises, and it's hands down one of my favorite exercises. Why opt for cables over dumbbells, you ask? It's simple. With cables, you maintain constant tension throughout the entire movement. Dumbbells, on the other hand, lose that muscle activation at the bottom. That's why I'm putting cable lateral raises in the GOAT section, S, and dumbbell lateral raises in the A section. But hey, don't get me wrong, dumbbell lateral raises are also great exercises, and it deserves its spot in the A section. I want to share one more fantastic bodyweight exercise that will sculpt those defined shoulders you're after. Which is this exercise? Well, it is the ring pike push-up. We're placing it in the A section. Every time I spot a guy at the gym busting out plate front raises, a part of me dies inside. Sure, if you're training for the new truck simulator, knock yourself out. But if you're not, steer clear of this exercise. It's a solid D tier move in my book. Then we have the reverse pec deck. It's an amazing exercise for the rear delt, and you can't really go wrong with it. This is why it goes straight into the A tier. And speaking of the rear delt category, let's not overlook the rope face pull. Here's a pro tip, try using 2 ropes for an added challenge. If you're new to this exercise and need more stability, you can even do it on the ground. Trust me, this one's a game changer. Let's slot it into the S tier. One more exercise that tops our list is the Z press. It's a powerhouse exercise that reigns supreme when it comes to sculpting those deltoids. I highly urge everyone to incorporate it into their routine. Without a shadow of a doubt, the Z press deserves a spot in the coveted S category. Ready to sculpt defined abs? Dive into our next video to discover the top 2 core exercises that'll chisel your midsection and leave you feeling stronger than ever. Don't miss out and watch now.